Hey, everybody. Welcome to Hope is Not a Tactic, the School Safety and Security Show. And I'm your host, Lieutenant Joe Pangaro. So, first of all, how do we get this program here? Well, it's sponsored by RiotTint.com. They make safety glazing for glass, can make a difference in your safety and security of any facility, but especially our schools. Blue360media.com, that's my publisher. They publish all my books. And medicalessentialdiagnostics.com. Medicalessentialdiagnostics.com. They're in the state of New Jersey. They are a group that provides health screenings for any state, county, local, federal worker in the state of New Jersey, especially our first responders and teachers. And you can get a screening, a health screening, at no cost to you, and it can save your life. So take a look, and I want to thank them for sponsoring us. All right, so one of the things I want to talk about is as we get into this time of year, and we're in the spring, we're in the early spring, we're all going to have in our districts somewhere some graduation concerns. Graduation. So what do we do? So I've written a lot of material and I teach a lot of different programs on after hours and weekend events. And I think graduation slides into that niche. Okay. So when you're planning your safety and security, which I think we all need to take that into consideration for our graduation programs. It can also go for any sports you still have. You still have spring sports going on, right? We have spring sports. We have still have some plays. You have some musical events. Our schools keep right on going till the end of the year. So we want to think about nights, weekends, and special events other than the regular school day. And how do we secure them? What do we do? So like I said, I've written a lot. If you want this information, you can look it up, Campus Safety Magazine, or just look up Joseph Pangaro After Hours School Safety, and on the internet, and this stuff pops right up. You could find the articles. If you don't find them and you want them, give me an email, joe@pangarotraining.com. Joe, J-O-E, @pangarotraining.com. Say, hey, Lieutenant Joe, can I have that material on after hours and weekends safety and security? So the reason I started looking at that kind of a topic was when I was active duty law enforcement, we had a big rivalry for football. And we were in a nice community. We never had any real problems. You had kids that would show up and, both sides would be yelling at each other across the field. That happens. But we never had any real problems. We did have some districts around us where the conditions were a little tougher, let's say. There was a little more crime, a little more violence going on. Not a lot, but more than our community, no doubt. And we never really gave it a lot of thought because we never, ever had a problem. And then one day we had a playoff game with a very big rival who was also one of these local communities where they had more difficulties with crime. And after the game was letting out, there was an argument, a fight in the parking lot, and somebody had a gun and let a couple rounds go. Right? They were shooting in the parking lot. Now, thank God nobody was hit. I don't know if they missed or they were just trying to scare people and fired some, whatever it was. They were shooting a gun in our parking lot after a football game. And of course, this caused a lot of concern. Everybody was, worried. What are we going to do? Who was it that fired? And it was a whole investigation. If it was it our kids, our people? Was it the other team's people? We weren't sure, but we had to do an investigation. Bottom line, somebody had a gun in a parking lot at a sporting event after hours and shot the gun. So we started to look at it. I started to research it. That's part of the duties that I had as a lieutenant at the time. Look into safety and security, threat assessments, all that kind of thing. So I started to look at it and I came up with a whole list of things we need to consider when we're doing this. So first of all is you're going to have your personnel. Where are you going to station people? And they should be visible. Just like in a threat assessment, one of the things I talk about is seeing approaching danger and visual cues to security. So seeing approaching danger means when you got all the buses showing up with the kids, you should have personnel, your school personnel, whether it's a grammar school or a high school, out in that area with vests on, traffic vests, so people can see, and a radio. And you put them at the farthest corners of where you're going to have children and staff so that they have eyeballs on the entire place. And if they see somebody approaching or they see something dangerous or a problem, they get on the radio, they can instantaneously tell everybody and you can react. The vest is to provide a visual cue. that there's security. Now you got to imagine somebody arriving or doing something, going to do something, and all of a sudden they see all these people with vests and radios. Are they police? Are they security? Or are they just, they don't know. It's a visual cue. There's people there watching. Maybe they won't commit the violence. Maybe they'll move on down the road. That's the idea of visual cue to that kind of thing. And approaching danger, if you see it coming, the faster you can see it coming, the faster you can react, right? So it's part of your plan. So when you're looking at these after school events, you want to make sure graduation, football games, baseball game, whatever it is, if you have concerns, you need personnel on the outer perimeter to watch who's coming and going. What do you see coming in and out of the parking lot? Do you see a carload of kids that are having a problem? You could see that maybe they're doing something they shouldn't be doing. Who's watching the parking lot where everyone's getting out of the car? Are they seeing people doing things that, hey, what are they all about? What are they putting in that bag over there? Whatever it is, you need eyes to see to make a notification, right? Because this is how we survive these kind of events. So your outer perimeter security is very important. Then as you go in, you want concentric circles of security. Your next level might be the outer part of the specific area where this is going to take place. If it's in your building, you're having your graduation in the auditorium or the gym. Now the outer perimeter of your building becomes your next layer of security. Where are you letting people in and out? Every door or only one door or a couple of doors? Do you have personnel monitoring those doors? Depending on where you are and the practices in your community, do you have people there who are trained to work the metal detector or to work the handheld scanner so they can see if someone's carrying a weapon? Do you check bags? Do you not check bags? Do they have to be clear bags? All of these things are things you should consider. And I will throw out there, I do look at equipment. I know I've done a program on equipment. I'm going to do it again. There's a piece of equipment out there called the ViewScan, VIEW scan. It's not a traditional metal detector. So pregnant women can go through it, people with pacemakers can go through it, all that kind of stuff. And you can put them in the walls of a building so it doesn't look like a prison, right? When people come through and it shows you a dot will pop up on somebody's body on the camera to show you, hey, there's metal in this area. And you can set the sensitivity, right? So it's not picking up every iPhone or whatever, but it would pick up a gun or a knife. A ViewScan, take a look at it. Good piece of equipment. So you can have mobile ones as well. Do you put a metal detector? What if you're outside? So your outer perimeter or your inner perimeter then starts at your sports field. A lot of them have fences around them. Not all of them do. You want to have maybe you want to cordon it off so that people have to flow in a certain direction. All right. Maybe put up road, the roadblock things, put them up so everyone funnels this way and they go into the field this way. Whatever it is, the key here is to you control the flow of the personnel and you have people watching them, people that can respond. Do you have police at your events? A lot of towns, the police will be assigned there with an ambulance. That's good. That's a smart idea in case a kid gets hurt, but you have cops there. That's good. If you don't have that luxury, because your town doesn't have that many officers, consider hiring off-duty officers, right? It's called a detail. Maybe it's $60 to $100 an hour, and you need them for 4 hours. Well, if you have an officer there, you have a trained responder. So if something does happen, you have somebody already on scene that can confront the dangerous person or can take other action and has immediate access to law enforcement. Consider that. All right, so you want to secure who gets in there. Determine if you're going to let them bring bags in with them, backpacks, all these other things. Are you going to search them? Are you going to use metal detectors? Then you have your inner perimeter, right? So that's maybe on the sports field or on the graduation field or whatever you're going to do. Now you need people there facing where the people are going to be, the crowds, right? Everybody watching the graduates, that's wonderful, but you need security to be watching all the other people because unless you think a kid's going to pop up and do something, which I'm not saying they wouldn't, but it seemed very rare, you want to see what everyone is doing. Are there people there that are causing a problem? Do you see a ruckus beginning? Do you see agitation, right? Do you see protesters? You might have a bunch of protesters come to your event because they don't like the stand that your town or district takes on any one of the myriad of concerns we have in the world today. and they start to cause a problem. You want to be able to see it as quickly as you can and then send your personnel there to defuse it, right? So you have these concentric circles of security. Your outer perimeter with people watching, being able to talk. Your next level in where they're paying attention to who's getting in and where, and then inside, all right, inside your facility or inside your field, whatever it is, so that they can respond quickly and you have proper security. All right, that's the basic understanding. But graduations are coming. We're going to fill our fields and our auditoriums and everything with all kinds of people to come and see the kids graduate. It's fantastic. You want it to be safe. You want it to be secure. To do that, you need to think about it. And when do you need to think about it? You think about it now, today. You see this program, say, hey, what security do we have planned? You don't want to plan 2 days ahead of time because you won't be able to put things in place. You want to plan now, maybe do a tabletop exercise where you say, let's come up with a scenario. Somebody shows up and they're disgruntled. There's a fight with a knife in the stands during a football game. There's a protest during the graduation and people are throwing bottles, whatever. And then figure out how you would respond. That'll help you figure out what you need for personnel and what you need for materials and what you need for notification. All those things work out really good when you do a tabletop exercise. So I want to thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Stay safe out there. Have great graduations, after school activities, plays, sports. All that stuff is great. We want to all do it safe and secure. So until we meet again, we'll see you down the road.